Good afternoon, Africa. Good afternoon, African Confessions. I am back with another episode. There is a message that I want to share with you guys. It comes straight from our email inbox. The message reads like this. Dear African Confessions, sometimes life can put you in a very difficult position and you have to make a decision that will save you, because these girls are here for serious business. It is like you are in a movie whereby if you don't shoot the enemy, then the enemy is going to shoot you first. So I had to move very quickly, otherwise that girl was going to finish me first. After listening to a story that you posted the other day, I was triggered, and this brought back a lot of memories, and I don't want to lie. I had to do it, and I am not proud of what I did, but I was given no option but to protect everything that I had worked hard for so many years. And also, I had to protect the future of my children. My husband was a school principal, or let me say headmaster, because in our country we say headmaster. My husband at that time, he was working as a headmaster in Zambia, and he was working in a rural setting. The school is somewhere near Livingstone, the hometown of the mighty Victoria Falls. So this is in a village, and the school teachers have accommodation right there on the school premises. So there is the school, then the student accommodation, because this school is a boarding school. Then there is the staff cottages, and that is the houses for the teachers. I am explaining it to you so that you can get the clear picture of the story. Now, my husband had been working in that school for many years, more than 10 years, and I was a teacher too, but at a different primary school which was nearby. And then as time moved on, we realized that we didn't have a home of our own. So we then decided to buy a stand and to build our own home. Our kids were almost finishing high school, and in no time they will be enrolling in the university. And we realized that time was not on our side. We needed a home of our own. I then resigned and I got a lump sum of money. Then we started to build our own home. Since building is a project that if you want your things to be done properly, you have to be there on the ground. In the past, we had tried to build our house whilst we were at work, but we saw that the builders were taking advantage of us. So my husband told me that I had to resign so that I can manage this project. My husband was working and I was staying close to our new home whilst I was managing this project. And I also started a very small business to keep the revenue coming. This is where all the problems started. Looks like my husband got a chance to be free since he was alone at work and all of our kids were in boarding school. Let me make the story straight. Money was not a problem. We had a very comfortable life. I would see my husband after every 2 or 3 weeks. He is the one who had encouraged me to stop working so that we can build our own home, because all of these years we had stayed in the houses of our employers and we were very comfortable. But as our kids grew, we realized that we needed a home of our own. Now, this was the first time that I had ever been separated from my husband ever since we had been married, and I am sure that for the first time in his life he had freedom to do whatever he wanted to do. 4 months later, I started receiving complaints from my husband's colleagues telling me to be careful of one lady who had become too much close to my husband. I will call my husband Peter. My former colleagues told me that they were seeing Peter chatting and laughing, sitting around the fire each and every night with this single lady. At first, I just thought that it was just an honest friendship, till I realized that things were getting out of hand. Next, I heard that the lady was seen in the early hours of the morning running from Peter's house to her own house, and in most cases, people told me she would be wrapping a towel only on her body. This was very clear that these two people were in love, but I was in denial. I trusted my husband so much. I told myself I will never believe that my husband can cheat on me. I wanted to see them on my own. I would believe if only I would catch them red-handed. My husband then had become very cold towards me, and every time that I visited him, he would act as if he had seen me just yesterday. He would act as if I was invading his privacy. All the money that was supposed to be sent each and every month and towards the project was no longer coming, and there were excuses after excuses. Whenever I would go to visit my husband, that lady would look at me, but the look that she will give me, it will be that look that will be filled with hatred. And I knew that if I don't act now, I was going to be kicked out of our house. And now our house was almost completed. So I knew that these two people could plan anything. They could even plan to kill me so that I can be out of the picture. Then they can enjoy the fruits of my hard labor. I had made a sacrifice to resign, and I had made this sacrifice so that we can improve our lives. And my husband was now stabbing me in the back, and he was taking me for granted. I needed a plan to protect myself and to protect the future of my children. A few months later, Peter stopped sending money altogether, and he acted as if he had forgotten about me. He had even forgotten about our kids. He even stopped visiting our kids in school, and he started to treat me so badly. Their relationship was no longer a secret. That lady was now determined to be my husband's second wife. I heard rumors that my husband had told this woman that we were getting divorced. That is why this woman was now making it an open secret that she is going to be the second wife. They played happily married. Each and every night she would sleep on our matrimonial bed. It was now a public secret. My mom passed away. I told my husband that I had to go and to attend my mother's funeral. He just said, okay. My husband never came, and he never said anything to me. I was heartbroken. We are talking of a man who in the past was a family man, a respected man in the community, but now he was acting like a drunkard. He was now drunk with the love of a strange woman. Every night I cried myself to sleep, till I told one of my former workmates. When I told her, she said to me, cry no more, because she had a plan. She told me that she had a plan, and she said I should not worry anymore. She was going to heal my broken heart. She then took me to a place called Binga on the other side of the Zambezi River. The tribe is of the Tonga people. And when we arrived in that area, we saw an elderly man who gave me African herbs, and he told me how to use the muti on my husband. That elderly man said to me, this was like a locking mechanism. This was a lock that I can put on my husband, and if anyone tried to sleep with my husband, if that person doesn't come to me, they will die. The death will not be instant, but they will suffer slowly. When my husband ejaculates into them, he would ejaculate slow poison into their body, and it will be like cancer that will destroy them slowly. But if the woman that would have been intimate with my husband, if she comes to me to apologize, then the ritual will be automatically undone, as if you are unlocking a car. But if she doesn't come to me to apologize, the lock will stay on that woman until she dies. We went back. Then I went to see my husband. I arrived the following evening unannounced, and on my way I was not sure if I really wanted to use the herbs, because I was told they were very dangerous and they would kill her slowly but surely. Upon my arrival, the main door was open, so I walked in without ever knocking, and I went straight to our bedroom. What I saw in the bedroom truly broke my heart. I found my husband and his mistress. They were in bed, busy kissing and cuddling. I was powerless but not surprised. They were all surprised to see me, because I didn't even tell my husband that I was coming over to see him. What I did, I just closed the bedroom door. When I walked into the living room, I realized that these two people, it seemed as if they had started their romance in the living room, because clothes were all over the place. I picked my husband's boxer short. Then I also picked a t-shirt that looked like a woman's t-shirt. I knew that it was that lady's t-shirt. I took the boxer short and that lady's t-shirt. Then I placed it into my handbag. I went back into the bedroom. Then I said to my husband, I will come back after you are done with your woman. Then I just left them. They were surprised because they were expecting that I was going to fight with them, but I wasn't going to fight with these two people physically. I wanted to fight with them spiritually. When I arrived back home, I went straight to my room. Then I knelt down and I followed all of the instructions because that man had told me what to do when I'll be following the ritual that I was supposed to perform so that this locking mechanism can start to work. Whilst I was kneeling down, I started to sprinkle some of the herbs on my husband's underwear, and also I started to sprinkle some of those herbs on that lady's t-shirt. I did all of this whilst I was crying. He had said that my tears had to fall on my husband's underwear and also on that woman's t-shirt. I prayed as I cried for these people to die if they keep on having sexual intercourse. After I had finished doing the ritual, I went straight to bed. My husband, he never even made an effort to follow me, but I didn't care about him. I knew that sooner or later he was going to run back into my arms. A few days later, I went back to my husband's place and I made sure that all of the teachers were not at home. Everyone was at work, so no one saw me going into my husband's house and going out of the house because I had the spare keys. When I got into my husband's house, what I did, I took my husband's underwear, the one that I had used in the rituals that I had done whilst I was at my place. I folded it neatly, then I packed it in his drawer. Then I took that woman's t-shirt, the one that I had also used in the ritual. I just left it in my husband's bedroom. Then I walked out of the house and I went back to my place. After a few days, I had reports that were coming from the school. One of my former colleagues told me the lady had just felt sick and she had been rushed to the hospital. And I said, let the games begin. But in no time, she came back. She was not sick anymore. My husband didn't care for me or the kids, but I continued building my house with the profits that I was getting from my small business. A year went by. Then I heard the good news. One of my colleagues told me, you should come here. You should come and check out this lady. Her tummy is growing big each and every day. It is so big. It is like she is going into labor, but she is not pregnant. So in the beginning, this lady was telling everyone a lie that she had fallen pregnant for my husband, but everyone realized that she was not pregnant at all. There was something going on with her tummy. Her tummy was growing so big. I could not go to see her because part of the ritual was that I was not supposed to see this woman. So I just stayed at home. I was just sending my spies to go and check up on her. Then after 6 months, she went to the hospital. I heard that the doctors wanted to operate her. I then sent one of my former colleagues, the one that I was using as a spy. When she went to the hospital, she came back laughing. When I asked her, why are you laughing? She said to me, my friend, that woman is just a moving grave. She is not going to recover. When I wanted to go into the ward where she was, one of the nurses said to me, are you strong enough? Be careful of what you are about to see because it can traumatize you for life. I asked her, what did you see, my friend? Please tell me. She said, I saw a lot of pipes that were going in and out of her tummy. It looks like her tummy has just exploded. That woman is a moving grave. Then we started to laugh. After a few days, we heard the news that she had died. My husband was so heartbroken when this lady died, and I went to comfort him. I pretended as if I cared so much for his second wife, but in my heart, I was just laughing at him. And in no time, my husband came back running into my arms. It was like this woman who had died, she had this hold over him. And that mood maybe she had used on my husband was gone. It was like my husband had woken up from a very long dream. My brother, if you ask me, am I proud of what I did? No, but I was pushed because I loved my husband. To all the ladies who play these games, some ladies will let you win, but there are some of them, they will just destroy you. Don't try this at home. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was forwarded to me by one of our admins. The most scary part is when she said I had to send some of my spies so that they can spy on this woman whilst she was in hospital. Please let us speak about this issue in the comment section. It is her confession. I cannot judge her. Let's meet again in the following episodes.